Jim Lehman was involved in the Manitoba softball as a player, coach, administrator, and umpire. Jim's involvement at so many levels of fast-pitch softball serves as evidence that his love of the sport is long-lasting. Starting out in Pine Falls as a player, moving on to Portage La Prairie, and then on to Winnipeg, Jim received several team and league awards for his consistent hitting, which resulted in the high batting average he finished his career with. Jim was named an all-star third baseman for the Winnipeg Senior Men's League in 1980 and was a member of the teams that represented Manitoba at the Canadian National Senior Championships on 2 occasions in 1978 and 1979. He often led his team in batting average, and in 1977 also won the Portage La Prairie CMFL batting championship. As a coach, Jim had a strong work ethic and trained his players very well. He communicated clearly with his athletes, and his time loving discussing strategy with his teams. Always a teacher, Jim was realistic and enthusiastic, respecting secondary athletes and their abilities that his players might possess, often utilizing these skills to the advantage of the team and of the individual. Jim turned his passion from playing to coaching to becoming an umpire. His talents were recognized, and in 1999, he was selected as the umpire for the Pan Am Games that were held in Winnipeg that year. Through the years and the many local and provincial tournaments, Jim was known for enforcing the rules of the game fairly while attempting to ensure that the players, coaches, and even the fans understood and were made aware of the interpretation of the rules. As an administrator of the game, Jim was keen to participate in softball clinics. In the 2003 and 2005 years, he chaired the Progress for Portage softball tournament, which he expanded to include girls fast pitch and then slow pitch as well. Jim Lehman is an inductee into the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame for 2020 in the all-around category.
Get your mug shot.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna. Is that my best shot?
Congratulations.
Thanks, buddy. I will not nearly talk as long as these other guys. First, I'd like to thank the Lord for giving me the skill and the opportunity to play the game I loved and enjoyed so much. Thank you for those who nominated me and to the selection committee. And congratulations to the other inductees, especially Charlie Kurtz, who was a college classmate of mine, and we both went into the teaching profession. Softball is a game played with 9 players, and to be recognized individually is quite an honor. And it's to be shared with your teammates. I was fortunate to play with a lot of great players and outstanding athletes. Kenny King, Earl King, Ray Hunke, Brian Hunke, Jimmy Kilbourne, Freddie Martins, Paul Miller, Billy Calder, Ferdy Nelson, Dave Wendt, Brian Pallister, Wayne Richardson, Lloyd Penner, Rick Denny, and Cliff Bishop, and many others. Time will not allow me to mention them all. I share this with all of you. Although I was able to be a part of league championship teams in 4 different leagues I played in, and by the way, I did not really play in Pine Falls. It was Seven Sisters Falls, but it has falls in the end.
Just read the script, Jim.
Oh, just wondering a bit. But I was able to play in a championship team in all 4 leagues that I played in, with multiple championship teams in Portage and in Winnipeg. I played in a number of provincials, got to go to 2 national championships. I got to play third base behind a Robbie Ginter no-hitter, behind a Brian Pallister no-hitter. Played against the great Eddie Feiner, which is, well, for me it was exciting. But my greatest joy came from putting on my uniform, grabbing my glove, and just going out to play ball. That was my joy. I was able to play ball for about 20 years, but I was also grateful to be able to give back to the game. From coaching minor ball, high school ball, and men's ball, it allowed me to be in the game in a different way. Working with girls in minor ball, the minor executive, working on committees to improve ball diamonds in Portage la Prairie, getting fencing up and dugouts. It was a labor of love and very satisfying. And I say thank you to the city of Portage la Prairie for allowing me in some way to be an encouragement to the players and those who followed. After playing competitively for many years, I ventured into umpiring. No comments, please. I found it completely satisfying and enjoyable. I got to rub shoulders with former players and gained a real appreciation for the other side of the game. Working in 3 Westerns, a number of provincials, different levels, and a Pan Am's exhibition game. Thank you to the late Doug Barber for mentoring me in umpiring. Truly a really great support. And Doug was an outstanding umpire. I will save some off-script stuff for Doug later. Before I close with a few thoughts, I'm just going to go off script. They told me not to. I see Dave Shayax here. It's nice to see Dave. He came with us to a Nationals once, and Dave and Kenny Dilk missed the team bus one time. But don't worry, they got back to the motel about 2 in the morning. And I think the whole motel is a glass front. I think it just wasn't well lit. Apparently they walked through a glass door. But they were ready to go the next day. No blood, they were okay. The manager managed to pay for the damages so we wouldn't get thrown out of the hotel. And Rick Denny, well, we had a blast playing with Rick. We were playing down in Fargo, and these Americans, nice thing about playing Americans, they don't like to bunt. I played third base, so I never had to play close against the American teams. They just loved to swing from the heels. We had Pat Coffey throwing for us this time in Fargo. First time up, I'm playing third base, and I'm like this. The guy hits a one-hop line drive. I never moved. It went between my glove and my shoulder. I look over at Rick, and he's laughing. Next time the guy comes up, he hits a line drive between Rick and me. I think there's smoke behind that ball. I look at him, and he smiles and laughs. He couldn't get that one either, eh? Third time he comes up, he hits a line drive over center field. I don't think it's landed yet. I turn to Rick and I says, walk him next time. Hey, when those guys just love swinging from the heels. When we went with Cliff down there, he started throwing change-ups. They got so mad they threw the bat down the ground. They says, throw the ball in here. You see why some of these change-up pitchers did well. Anyway, it was a lot of fun playing with those guys. The other thing with Rick, I think it was with the Nationals. So we're out there in the field, and I think Cliff's just getting ready to wind up and throw. He says, Jim, look at the blonde behind the catch. I says, Rick, we're playing a ball game here. That's Rick. It was a lot of fun. I close with 3 thoughts. The best athletes I played with, I took 2, Dave Wendt and Ferdy Nelson. The best player I played with was Cliff Bishop. My greatest fan and supporter is my wife. She would pack up the cooler and the kids and go to most of the tournaments. We went to Fargo, Grand Forks, and Saskatchewan. She went to the Nationals both with us. Put the kids on the bus. One year we had to go on a bus because Air Canada was on strike. 46 hours on a bus. Kenny Dilk and the guy says, maybe we should maybe not go, cancel. But Kenny Dilk and the guy says, no, Jim and those guys may never get a chance to go again. It's a once in a lifetime. So we rode a bus, 46 hours. You wouldn't have wanted to come on the bus and visit us because 46 hours without a shower. Wow. We stopped, I think, in Ottawa for about 10 minutes. We got off the bus. Boy, was that ever fresh. Back on the bus. Whoa. But anyway. But she would go to all our games. In Portage, she would go to all the games. And our local newspaper would do a write-up after every game. She has clippings of every game that I played. I have them all yet. She's got clippings for about 40 years of when I played, coached in high school, refereed basketball. I refereed basketball after. She's got clippings. I've got them all at home. I was going to bring the box, but my goodness, to show you all that. She kept all the clippings. And that was my greatest supporter. And so I say to you, I love you. Thank you. And to the rest of you, say thank you and God bless you.